What's up, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers? This is your boy Porter Rock 77, and we are live. What's going on, people? Um, Let me check the sounds. Yeah, we sounding good. Cool. All right. So how's everybody doing? How's the chat doing? Yo, we live tonight. You know what I'm saying? Who's next? What's up? 6996, PlayStation Greatness. What's going on, people? Danny Stab. Thank you for showing up. We're gonna let the room fill out a little bit. Already seeing people, coming into the room nicely. I appreciate all of yous rocking out with me. Make sure if you can, if you don't mind, hit the like button. Retweet the link out. Trying to keep my voice a little low. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to wake up the wife. I apologize if I sound like what's that dude's name? Oh man, I forgot his name. Some singer with a deep voice. But we're gonna get it though. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do this tonight. Cause something, got some information out there. And I'm like, wait a minute. We can't let this happen out here. My man Lex Perez, Fall of Duty, Lionel, what's up, Rooster? What's going on, people? Neverland, appreciate it, man. Sam, thank you for showing up. DI Almighty, Joe Robinson, what's good? Lex Perez, thank you so much for showing up. I hope you enjoy another sermon. The Bang House was good. Trickstar, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go in. All right, we're gonna go in. Room's filling up nicely. Hit the like button. Get this out there. Top dog, what's good? You know what I'm saying? We in here. Let me do a couple of things here. You know what I'm saying? PR son. There you go, Barry White. That's his name. my man said. My man said PR sounded like Barry White. Fernando, what's good? Let me do a couple of things here. Let me look through. My man, who's next? Always been here. Hold on. Boom. Let me see. I'm awarding some madness up in here. Let's see what we got up here. Let's see who else. Let me go. There we go. Here we go. Boom. All right. Here we go. Some of y'all be like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Some of you goes, you know what I'm saying? Here we go. Let me do one more. All right. Boom. That's what's up, man. But anyway, I appreciate all you guys, rocking out with me. So we're gonna hit this up. We're gonna cut this up. So let me go back a little bit. So we all know Hebot made a video, right? Talking about, in short, let me see. Let me look at the name. Let me look at the name real quick. This trips me out. It's called "What Has PS4 Given Their Fans?" And in parentheses, not much. Then now is a beautiful thing. All right. So I saw this video, right? And he pretty much everything Sony did was negative. Pretty much everything, every single thing. They did nothing right. Pretty much nothing right. And that's pretty much his video. My man Mellon, yeah, you man. Yankees going undefeated. It's gonna be a powerful season for the Yankees. I'll tell you that much. Fucking getting Stanton on the team, ridiculous. But let me move on. No doubt, my man Kingsman said P Rock Branson Yankees won today. Stay blessed. No doubt, repping New York. But yo, I appreciate everybody here. J Wags, what's up? Fernando, Melon Mac, Carlos Fernandez, what's up? Hold on. Appreciate you guys showing up. That's what's up. Eric, Scrub Gamer, Disaffectamine. What else? Man, you guys, what's up? Thank you for showing up. Raheem, what's good? Support Gaming, Craig Harris, I do Juegos, Anthony Rose. Man, the room's filling up. All right. RD Venya saying Yankee sucks. All right, here we go. So Heba went through this 30-minute spill, and pretty much everything went wrong. All right, saying that PS4 has done nothing for the fans. You know what? I'm gonna disagree. I easily disagree, and I'm gonna tell you why. All right, because I know Hebot is gonna pull the I've been a gaming a long time, but guess what? I've been gaming a long time too. All right, I've been gaming going back to Carlos Fernandez, what's going on, brother? $10 super chat. He said, my boy Carlos says he bought a low key fudge pack. Oh shit. I'm gonna leave that alone. Pause. 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 What's up today? Oh shit, I'm late. Nah, no, we're late. We just getting in there. Ooh, Carlos was already going in. Lionel's about to take a shot. Let's see. $5. Let's talk about how MS is misleading people with how good Sea of Thieves is doing. Cough, cough, BS. Yeah, we'll touch on that too. We're gonna touch on that. We're gonna touch a little bit of that too, because I have issues with what's going on with that too. But we're gonna start. We're gonna kick it with what he about says. So in his opinion, we haven't got anything, and he took everything and made every single little thing negative. Now I could easily go at Xbox, but you know what? I've done that plenty of times. I'm not gonna revisit the issues Microsoft has since 2013. We all know the issues we had, right? I'm gonna strictly keep this about PlayStation for the most part. For the most part, right? So what did PlayStation deliver for us? For us PS4 gamers. Right from the start, Sony created a console designed for gaming. Point blank. It was built for nothing else. All right. Sony wasn't out there trying to sell you TV. Sony wasn't out there putting in features to enhance your cable box or your direct TV experience. They weren't doing any of that. Call me Jay. ¿Y qué hermano? ¿Cómo está? Anthony Rose, Merck. It was a gaming focused console. And the reason why it was a gaming focused console was because of the mistakes they made with the PS3 at the start of the PS3 gen. See, Sony already went through that. You know, that's why experience come into play. They already went through that phase. You know, the PS1 was a pure gaming machine. You know, PS2 was a gaming machine. With PS3, they thought, let's expand the market and turn it into a multimedia device. That's why they launched with, you know, the Blu-ray player. They put in all those media cards. They talked about installing operating systems. You know, the cell processor could do all this stuff. It was launched at $600, and the gamers and industry didn't react too favorably. So Sony says, you know what? In the middle of halftime, let's rewrite the playbook. Let's go back to the old playbook. And you saw how the rest of the generation was more positive. My man Carlos, $10 super chat. He said he bought more toasted than the Quiznos subs, and that's fact. Yeah, that dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. For a dude that says he has so much knowledge, he's using it he's using it in the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? For a guy who claims that. Ravenflow, $2 super chat. Sony always push formats. PS1, PS2 did that too. And you know, and you are correct. They did push formats. But I think they went too hard with the PlayStation 3. You know what I mean? They did too much. They went too much with this movie media format. And we saw the initial results of it. But Sony quickly adapted to the negative situation they were in. They went back to the old school playbook. And you saw PS3 came out with bangers. You know, Uncharted, The Last of Us, you know, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. You know, they continued with their sports franchise, you know, and then they started pushing whatever IPs they can to see what would hit. You know, Warhawk, Starhawk, Mag, you know, PlayStation All Stars, you know, they were just on firing on all cylinders. So when the PS4 started this gen, they knew right from the get-go, it's a gaming machine. It's not going to be a multimedia device. It's a gaming machine with the right features to push gaming. Right? They released it at an affordable price and they had a plan. Now, when the PS4 launched, Sony was already thinking 4 or 5 years ahead because PlayStation VR was not a last minute decision. Ravenflow, PS3 had more IPs planned for this gen than this gen. Yeah. Wait, PS3 had more IPs planned for the gen than this gen. I think it's not fair to say that yet until this gen is over. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, the PS3 gen closed out and it was 7 years. You know, we still need to see. We need to compare both platforms once they both have their generations cut through. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't like, you know, when a console launches, people say, "Oh, this console doesn't have the amount of games the last one did." Well, the last one's been out for like 8 years, 7 years. Of course, it's gonna have more games. You know, we need to compare it apples for apples in a way and see what's going on. You know, and then we don't know what other, because remember, we don't know what we don't know. Like before 2015, we really didn't know about Horizon Zero Dawn or in depth. We didn't, hell, none of us knew that Sony took the rights to Spider-Man until it was actually known, you know? So we don't know how much more IPs PS4 has planned. So far, you can make the reasonable assumption that PS3 has more IPs than this gen. That could easily, you could easily say that now. But in another 2 years, depending on what Sony does, we could change our mind, you know? That's why I say wait till like compare generation by generation when the generation is closed out. Like PS3 versus PS2, two generations that closed out. It might be a multiplayer podcast, maybe, depending. It's kind of late out here. But let me say this. So with the PS4, you had a console that was focused for this generation of gaming. And that's the problem. This is the thing about Heba you don't understand. Like you have to encompass the whole generation, not just keep focusing on the first two, the first three, whatever. It's how the console starts and how it eventually grows and how it ends up finishing the entire generation, you know? And any console that shout out to Lionel, $5 super chat. He says the crazy thing about MS was that they were trying to push that all-in-one media when there are other devices that are more accessible and does it better. That's what I said from the get-go. Like, who the hell in 2013 needed to pay $500 to Skype when everybody already had Androids and iPhones that Skype, and you could take it on the go. The Xbox, you can't take it on the go. You know, we were already Skyping back in 2000 freaking 5 or whatever on PC desktop. You know what I'm saying? Who the hell needs to see sports scores or fantasy draft scores on a console? We already have apps on that on our phones and tablets, and we do it on the go. We do it at work. Like none of that was necessary, and a lot of those things aren't even available now. Like Connect is useless. They took away Snapdragon or whatever the hell that's called. They completely, well, the Xbox that launched is not the Xbox we have now. So all of that shit was for nothing. People pay $500 for what then? You know, back in 2013, content sells hardware. Facts. Content will always sell hardware. That's the whole point, because the whole point of the hardware is the content. Shout out to Carlos Fernandez for that $5 super chat. He says content sells hardware because that's the point of the hardware. It's because of the content. Which comes first, the content or hardware? It's the content. We're buying the hardware because of content. That's really what it is, and we do it because there's no other hardware that does it. Ravenflow, $2 super chat. PS4 beat Xbox soundly with less IPs. That's bad. That's a true statement. But you know what? If as you see the buildup, Sony's pushing out more IPs. They even restructuring their business to maximize exclusive first party output. And the funny thing is, nobody is actually saying that Sony needs to improve their first party. You know what I'm saying? That's not even really an issue in terms of Sony in gaming. Yet they're still double downing on that. So what does that tell you about our platform? You know, Nino Bug and Pre-Rock, you need to be a multiplayer podcast. If I could, I could. You know, I understand some people are saying that there's a balance being lost. You know what I'm saying? Now, so PlayStation launched a $400 console focused on games and features and stuff like that. You know, and they put in place a product that is easily accessible to the consumer. It doesn't confuse the consumer. The design, the hardware configuration, the tools makes games easy for developers to make games on. One of my favorite things was this whole UWP with Xbox. You remember that? And because of UWP, they'll be able to port PC games easily on Xbox. Yet the PlayStation 4 day one was getting all the PC games. And there was no meeting, there was no event, there was no E3 where Sony was hyping a special tool set to do it. They just did it. We were just getting those games. That's why we easily got Warframe first and all this other stuff. You know, Sony created. I know he mentioned, or now they charge for PSN Plus when it was free. Yeah, because the network got better, more features were added. like that share playthrough mixer where you can control another player. We've been had that, and you don't have to do it through like a mixer service or through a streaming service. You just do it direct with a friend. We already had that, but there are features you don't need PSN Plus for. Like for example, PlayStation games are playing, and I proved in another video they are playing Fortnite for free. You know what I'm saying? All these free to plays, Warframe, hell, even Elder Scrolls, because that has a separate thing. You can play without PSN Plus. Sony did not try to take advantage and hide these free games behind the paywall. On Xbox, I can't even party chat without paying for it. You can't even use the web browser. Like, who the hell puts a web browser behind a paywall? Like, what are we doing here? But he doesn't think about that, you know? And I'm gonna say this: a lot of people had issues with the remasters. I know that was his big thing, and a lot of Xbox dudes are pushing. Oh, Sony came out with nothing but remasters. Let me tell you something: a lot of PlayStation 4 owners came from 360. They didn't own the PS3. All those games that were released was for the benefit primarily for all the new people that came back to PlayStation and bypassed the PS3. They went from PS2 to 360. There was a huge influx, a mass exodus of Xbox gamers leaving Xbox because no one wanted to pay $500 for that console. That wasn't it. $500 for a camera? I mean, he even mentioned that. It didn't come with a camera. Yeah, it didn't come with a camera because it was useless. It should be optional. It should always been optional. Hell, that camera almost killed the brand for Xbox. So how is that a negative where the camera was optional? I don't understand that. Like, he took everything, every single thing they did, and made it to negative. And the things that Sony did right, he just mentioned it. He would be like he would talk about, let's say, like the order, right? He would go in depth on why it, wasn't successful. But then he would say, okay, and then on this day, Sony released Uncharted 4, and then he moved on. He didn't like talk about it. He only talked about like Drive Club or stuff like that. And then he said something like, oh yeah, and then released Infamous, and it was more infamous. What the fuck did you expect? Like when Microsoft released Halo and Gears, it's more Halo and Gears. Like, did you expect something brand new? Like a whole different IP? And here's the funny part. He's the dude complaining about God of War. So Infamous gets a knock for being more infamous. God of War gets a knock for being something totally new. Okay. Well, what are we to do now? What are we doing? You see what I'm saying? Carlos Crespin, $2 super chat. Xbox fanboys are the reason why Xbox is where it's at. Man, I'll be honest. I don't know. That could be very true. I hope so. I hope Microsoft ain't listening to these dudes. I really hope, because if they are, then it makes sense why they're at where they're at. It's just the truth is the PlayStation 4 console is the best console this generation. Now, does that mean you personally can't prefer another console? Of course. Even during the PS2 gen, some people feel the OG Xbox was better. Some people feel the GameCube was better. And that's because of personal preference and the games you personally enjoy. And that's perfectly fine. But on all metrics, on how the console was handled, how it was received, how it was accepted, the PS4 is the number one platform. It was affordable, it was well designed, it had a consistent future. There was no Sony had no doubt on the direction they want to take the PlayStation. You can tell. I mean, just look at PlayStation VR. It's a device that works on all PlayStation platforms. If you notice on PlayStation, we're not saying anything about PlayStation that no other PlayStation owners deny. Like, for example, when I hear Xbox dudes saying, oh, yeah, we Xbox owners, we get these 4K enhancements. And I'm thinking, I don't get 4K enhancements. I don't own an Xbox One X. Like, well, what are y'all talking about? Oh man, and then we get Dolby Atmos and all this. I'm like, I'm not getting that. Like, well, what are we talking about? Like a lot of things that are number one hyped on Xbox, the majority of Xbox owners can enjoy because we didn't pay another $500 to do it. So a lot of things these Xbox dudes are hyping, I can't do. I don't have that platform. I have the Xbox 1 terabyte. Last gen, I was a PS3 user, but I played on 360 because my brother-in-law had 360. So he was a 360 gamer. I was a PS3 gamer. Because last gen, the console was expensive. Because I did pay $600 for the PlayStation. He paid 400. So that's $1,000, G. That's $1,000, G. It was kind of ridiculous. I would never pay $600 for another console. I'm not doing that. So some of the things Xbox do is hype. I don't have access. 4K movie player. Like what the fuck? Like that's not something I could do either. Alex Escobar, who we talking about? We talking about your boy. Talking about your uncle. You know what I mean? That's $1,000, G. My man Lionel understands that. Here's the thing. Because he took everything all negative, which is fine. It was whatever. That's what he wants to do. I mean, to if he I don't know, man. To see all this negative, and yet he doesn't see all the negative on Xbox. Because I think the Xbox did more negatives than ever. These guys, they pay $500 a console that don't exist anymore. Like like if He-Man went out in November 2013 and paid $500, he no longer owns that console. That console's gone. He had to pay another 500 for the console they have today. That's $1,000, G. And that's assuming he didn't buy the One S. You see what I'm saying? Jason Elliott, 199. Will PS4 get backwards compatibility? PS1, 2, and 3? I don't think so. I think the backwards compatibility will be forward with the PlayStation 5. I don't think the PlayStation 4 is going to get it this year. I think right now, with the gen closing out, we got maybe 2 more years to this gen. If it starts in 2020, I think Sony probably put more focus on the 5 and make that backwards compatible with 4, 3, 2, and 1 than to make the 4 backwards compatible. And it's not a self defense. I think it makes more sense to put more effort into the next console so that way you have all these features and stuff day one instead of worrying about the current old one. Like right now with the current old one, I think more people just want to make sure we keep getting games, new IPs, new titles, and then us being able to carry over everything that we bought onto the PS5. You know, kind of like the iPhone Android model, be able to take everything over into the new gen. You know what I mean? So I don't think Sony is focusing on trying to make PS4 backwards compatible. I think they're going to make the 5 compatible because I think that's more important. Because when you think about it, every one of us that has an issue of the PS4 not being backwards compatible, most of us will transition over to the PS5. And if that's backwards compatible, then because we will all have moved on. So really it's all about the future consoles being backwards compatible. The 5, the PlayStation 6, 7, 8, 9. So that way our whole entire library and everything we invest moves forward. You know what I'm saying? 161 people watching right now, man. Outstanding. I hope you're all enjoying this. Sorry if I sound bad white, but I have to keep my tone a little low. It's a little late. And we're in the hotel. You know, my wife's sleeping a little bit. She supports me, but I can't interrupt her sleep. She'll flip out. You know what I'm saying? You'll probably hear like a frying pan hit me in the back of the head. You know, if I was on a camera, you know, my man Lionel would be out there, be like, "Oh shit, you got knocked the fuck out." You know what I'm saying? Then everybody be putting in super chat. You know, Jason Elliott. Anyone remember the game Shadow Man? I remember the name. I can't put a face to the game, but the name I remember, Shadow Man. So you want that BC? But I remember the name. I just can't put a face to the game. Yeah, tough love. You know what I'm saying? She's half Puerto Rican, half Dominican. So you know how she do. Yo, but here's the thing. Back to the PlayStation. All this stuff wasn't by accident. All right. The problem is guys like Hebot, you know, Xbox dudes, you know, all these bots that do more than just entertain. Dudes that take it far beyond into the serious realms for the last 3 years just pushed an agenda to lie to protect Xbox. And I'm gonna tell you, lying about the PlayStation is not gonna make the Xbox look good. It just doesn't work that way. Because at the end of the day, it's the real results of what's happening. Carlos Fernandez, $5 super chat. Xbox do not compute common sense. Just I don't know what it is, bro. You right on that one. I mean, I don't understand how lying is gonna make your preferred console better. Because the fact is, Sony had a plan with their console. Is it a perfect plan? No, not every console is perfect. The PlayStation 2 by far was not perfect by any means. The PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360. I mean, 360 was a great console, right? But that thing was RODing left and right. You couldn't upgrade your hard drives. I mean, I can nitpick issues with every single platform. Hell, the Xbox One, right? Xbox One X comes with a 1 terabyte hard drive, right? Can I upgrade the internal hard drive? Can I put a 4 terabyte hard drive internally into the One X? Can anybody answer that question? That owns the One X? Not external, not plug in external to USB port. I'm talking about remove the hard drive that's inside the box and throw in a higher density hard drive, kind of like the PlayStation. Is that possible? Let's see if the chat, because I know there's usually a little lag between the chat and the video. Let's see, anybody know about that? I don't own the One X. Milkmaster, $10 super chat. Gotta send you some quiet money then, so you can whisper. Oh shit, man. Appreciate it, Milkmaster. Thank you so much. Nope, Comey J says no. He says no, you can't do it. Not without voiding the warranty. Look at that. You see what I'm saying? I can nitpick a lot of things on the Xbox platform, but I don't nitpick the little dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Ravenflow, do you have bug repellent? Xbox are out full force. Man, we're gonna need more. We're gonna need like the damn exterminator out here. Because I don't understand why they're going so hard. And the thing is, they go hard with lies and misinformation. Lionel Bulgan, my man, $5 super chat. He says, nah, Puerto Rico, we don't need Mrs. Puerto Rico knocking you out. We need you. You're Phil Spencer on YouTube, clean up these bots and making the world a better place. Man, I'm just trying to spread a little truth here. I appreciate the support, Can't let these dudes just keep lying about it, because the lies ain't gonna help their platform. It's 2018 and it has not worked. The lies about Sony can't make games, the lies about they're too broke, the lies about they invested too much in Guy servers and VR to worry about AAA titles. Devs are closing down. It didn't work. Now they're trying to do this last ditch effort, trying to convince us the PlayStation hasn't delivered yet. Let's look at some of the reality. Are we the ones, right? Do you see us? Let's be honest. Do you see us begging for big blockbuster games? We got all the big blockbuster games. We got, our trio is the biggest right now. God of War, Detroit, Spider-Man is the biggest trifecta this year. The only platform that might have a chance to do better is maybe the Switch. And it depends on it depends if they're able to release Metro Prime 4, a new Super Smash Brothers Brawl, which some people saying that it's not a new one, it's a remake, remaster, or an old one. But if they release a new Smash and a Pokemon, that's probably the closest that they're going to be able to do it. That's the only one. We're not here. Hell, we're not begging for blockbusters to the point where we already have 2019 unlocked. 2019 Ghost of Tsushima, Days Gone, The Last of Us 2. Who's going to do better in 2019 with that trio? Even Nintendo won't be able to do better. In order for Nintendo to go to, and then God forbid, Death Stranding comes out 4, the only way Nintendo could even compete with that is if they release Mario, Zelda again, and then throw in, there's no one has the IPs to compete with that in 2019. So that's how stacked we are. That we already have 2019 one, and we're not even in the summer of 2018. You know what I'm saying? My man Carlos, $2. Thank you so much. He said, but PS4 games are one and done rentals, man. I bodied that narrative with the Twitch thing. You know, notice now how they're hyping Hellblade and No Man's Sky. Lincoln Clay, what's good, my brother, man? Life is good. I'm chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying my time with the best chat out here on YouTube. Living it up, man. You guys are what's up. You know what I'm saying? Carlos Fernandez, my brother, he says, we need a tempo for these Xbox cockroaches. My man, I'm imagining you having that Scarface accent. You're like, listen, take it easy, okay? We need a tempo for these Xbox cockroaches. They are too abundant in the gaming community, okay? I reloaded. Shout out, Carlos, man. Appreciate it. Here's the thing. Shout out to the subs. Shout out to the chat. Got 174 watching. Hit that like button. Let's spread this. Let's spread this gospel. Because of how Sony planned this out from the start, we have a wealth of titles to play. All right. Of various forms. From the indies, which is funny because you're right, we were pushing indies because they're good games. We tried to tell them 3 years ago, these indies are good games. They were not hearing it. They were mocking us as, oh, you just listing. But now all of a sudden, they want to list indie games. When we were telling them, we were always about the games. Let's got this twisted. They try to act like we only talked about resolution. We only brought that up. I didn't personally bring it up because I don't really care about that. But a lot of PlayStation dudes brought that up just to antagonize them because they weren't trying to have a gaming discussion. Because every time a PlayStation dude brought up a game, it was either a list, it's not AAA, or it's jab crap. It was always a caveat on the type of games we want to play every single time. If it wasn't a blockbuster AAA title, they weren't trying to hear it. So fuck it. If they wanted to be that close minded, then fuck it. PlayStation attacked them at their weakest, which was the power. You see what I'm saying? Now that Microsoft has a legitimate issue with pushing out AAAs, now they want to bring in the indies. Now it's all part of it. The PlayStation side did the PlayStation 4 to be a successful console, you have to cater to as much people as possible. That's where you get the big numbers. That's where you get the 80 million sales. It can't be just a focused small group. PlayStation 4 catered to a lot of people. It catered to people who enjoyed indies. It catered to people who love Japanese games. It catered to people who crossed over. That was the whole point of these remasters and remakes. Because you had a lot of Xbox dudes that never had the chance to play Uncharted. They never played a Quantum Dream game. You know what I'm saying? Like Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. They never played God of War. So these things were there not just for the fan base to play it at a better resolution, better performance, and all that stuff, but for the people that never experienced these games at all. So that way, when the new entry comes in, they're not left out. When Uncharted 4 comes in and stuff like that. That was the whole purpose, like Detroit being human. A lot of Xbox dudes are looking forward to that owns PS4s because they were able to play Heavy Rain and Detroit. And Beyond Two Souls. So they enjoyed that type of games. You know what I'm saying? So now that hope build up the hype behind Detroit Become Human, the Raven Flow, $2 super chat. PS never needed rest to be Xbox's day one. It didn't. It just turned out that way. Jason Elliott, $10 super chat. This old lady is going to see the new Angry Black Woman movie this weekend. Whose old lady? Oh, it's that Acrimony. Whose old lady is going to see the new Angry Black Woman movie this weekend? Acrimony. I don't know. Try to keep my wife away from those movies, man. They make wives violent. Now, you ever seen a movie that just pisses you off? Um, Man, I forgot what movie that was. It was a movie where the wife cheated on her husband. Oh man, it's with Diane Lane, I think her name is. Unfaithful, I think was called. It's crazy. Listen here, all right, to my peoples. PlayStation has done a phenomenal job this gen. Sony had a fantastic plan for this console, right? It was so fantastic that even with the introduction of the PlayStation Pro, people still love their Slims and the vanilla PS4 because it's doing what it's supposed to do, provide games. I don't care if other dudes don't like what Sony's doing, especially when their platform. I could understand if their platform was doing it better, but it's not. It's actually worse. His own issues, of course. Again, every console has its own issues. The question is, the one issue it's not supposed to have is the first party publisher isn't supposed to suck ass for a gen. What's going on, girl? Shouldn't be plays. What's good? Lionel. I don't care what no one says about paying for PS Plus, but it seems like that's helping us get new IPs. I think so too, man. Here's the thing. As much as I joke or whatever, it got a sequel. No one's asking for it, but it got a sequel. Gravity Rush got a sequel. The developers of Order 1886, they're right now working on a new IP, or they're working on an IP. We don't know if it's the sequel to Order 1886 or if it's a new project. But right, Naughty Dog, they made Uncharted 4, they developed Lost Legacy, and you see them making The Last of Us 2. Santa Monica did multiple projects, and now they're making a new direction for God of War. From Software is doing a new IP for PlayStation, or maybe a sequel to Bloodborne, along with Japan Studios. Japan Studios is also doing another thing. These guys, we know they're making games. Xbox, what are they doing? I don't know. And I know we beat this question to death, but it's 2018. And why are we asking these questions? Yet somehow the PlayStation is not delivering for us when, to be honest, the platform's overloading with games. And we haven't even reached E3 yet. You know what I'm saying? E3 is absolutely important for Xbox, yet E3 for us is like, what more can Sony give us? Like, is Sony even bothering to give us more? Because again, we already know what's 2019. Days Gone, Death Stranding, The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima. You understand what I'm saying? We already have a 2019 lineup, and then 2020 is probably the launch of the PS5. So everything will be more focused on that. So, like, this E3 is not really important for PlayStation at all. In fact, technically, we really don't need an E3, to be honest. Because how much more games can they possibly announce? How much more content, you know? And then, and then they have the other games that they're supporting. Lost Soul Side, Hong Kong Massacre. It's just crazy. And somehow this console didn't deliver to the fans? Why? Because we didn't have to pay another $500 for backwards compatibility X enhancements? Is that really the most important part? Let me tell you something. Not damage control BC. It's a great feature, but that doesn't define. I don't remember ever saying, "Man, PlayStation 2 was the best console because I was able to play PlayStation 1 games." I don't remember ever saying that. I don't have any of you guys said that? When you look back and be like, "Man, have any like some of you Xbox dudes? Do you ever remember saying, "Man, 360 was the shit because I was playing Xbox OG games on it"? Don't remember any of us saying that. You know, none of us were saying that. Nobody looks at a console for the capability of being. It's good to have it, but it's not going to define the console. So why is it like the end all be all now? Why? Because you're not getting new games, but yet somehow PlayStation's the big thing. You know. And here's the thing: everybody has different tastes. If you don't like Spider-Man, fine, you don't like Spider-Man. If you don't like Detroit because of the gameplay, fine, you don't like Detroit. If you don't like The Last of Us, if you don't like Days Gone, if you don't like all these IPs, just literally basket full of games, fine. So what do you like? Xbox is not really given a lot of titles. There's really not a lot to really be excited about. You know what I'm saying? Asher and Luca, $2. If you don't like Xbox, that's a you problem. Yep, it's a me problem. Oh man. Girl, I know you like that video. It's a me problem. It's a all of us problem. At the end of the day, these boxes, they play games. That's every box that comes out at launch plays games. If you're gonna do something innovative, it needs to be innovation that enhances gaming. A lot of the innovation the OG Xbox One had nothing to do with gaming. Being able to look at sports scores, being able to have a better, I would just say, experience with my cable television, being able to look up fantasy scores, that's not innovation. That's not innovation at all. In fact, phones do it better. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get, like, for example, you could sit down and tell your console Xbox on. What is the point of that? I don't get that point. Like, who's it for? Because last I checked, if you're gonna sit down and play an Xbox, you have to grab your controller, right? And the Xbox button turns the controller on. So why do you need to tell your console turn on and turn off when the controller does that for you? You're gonna hold the controller anyway. That reminds me of any of you who had like DVD players or Blu-ray players where you're sitting down and it has the eject button to remove the disc. Now here's my thing. Why is that button there when you have to get up and grab the disc anyway? Like, I never understood the point of that button. Like, why design a controller with that in mind? Why put in the effort for that when you have to go to the actual machine to remove the disc anyway? And the eject button's there too. So what is the eject button on a remote for? Who's it for? If you're alone, I mean, maybe you have your kid and you eject and then you tell your kid, all right, get up and go get the disc. Or, I wouldn't say that to my wife because my wife will look at me crazy because if we're both sitting down and I press the eject button and then I tell babe, go get that disc, she's gonna look at me like, what? You go get that shit. Like, what are we doing here? So who's the eject button for on the remote? Because the disc is not gonna change itself. I don't get that. So what is that Xbox on off for? In case the eject button on the console stops working, Porter Rock, duh. Okay, I guess. Maybe it's a backup eject button, maybe. Oh snap! Good shit, Shimby. Touche, brother. Shout out to Shimby. I don't know. See, that's when you know it's not a a well thought out product. Yet PlayStation getting knocked for coming out with a well thought out product. And here's the funny part: all the issues these dudes had with PlayStation in the beginning have been corrected, and they still don't care. Now the games, so first they start out the gen saying PlayStation has no games. Now all the games they are getting, now they're called handouts. Like what does that even mean? I never heard of that term in gaming before. When you receive third-party exclusive titles because they only want to support your platform, oh, that's a handout. What? What are we doing here? Like, this is a handout? So you complain that PlayStation ain't getting the games, that it's just nothing but multi-plats that you can play on your Xbox. Then when the console finally get all the games from various developers, different tastes, they're handouts. They complain about, oh, we don't like these walking sims, but they won't play Bloodborne. They won't play Neo. They won't play Neo Automata, which actually takes skills, which actually has combat, unlike Rise. I don't get it. I don't get it. But yet they're not delivering. Most of these guys didn't even beat Bloodborne, but it's not delivering. If you guys been checking out Kid Smooth stream of Bloodborne, I absolutely love his streams. And the main reason is looking at his streams and seeing him excited beating these bosses, he will never get that feeling on Xbox because there is no game that will give you that. Unless it's Dark Souls game, he's not going to get that feeling from Xbox exclusives. I think he even said it himself. But these other dudes, oh, I don't like walking simulators. Play Bloodborne. Play Neo. Play Neo Automata. There's plenty of games that's straight up true challenge. Lionel, $2. Xbox has features just to say they have features. I agree. Because what is the purpose on some of these features don't even exist anymore. They were TV features. They didn't mean anything for gaming. Like when I hear, oh, Xbox One was innovation. Innovating for who? None of that was innovative in terms of gaming. Like I didn't care. Like most of the stuff I was doing on my phone. I was not gonna Skype on a console. I have no interest in Skyping on a console. We Skype, FaceTime, Duo, we have all that stuff. Facebook, video chat. Like, what are we doing here? And the one thing that Xbox is delivering is the one thing most people don't own, which is the One X. Most people don't own that console. So a lot of the stuff that like, oh, we get free enhancements. Who get free enhancements? I don't get free enhancements. Because last I checked, in order to get those free enhancements, I have to pay $500. And what am I paying $500 for? Like my man, Zaire said, my boy, he has the world's most powerful console. Yet Microsoft is making games that look like Sea of Thieves. Games that aren't graphically demanding. Crackdown. Even State of Decay, which is the one game I'm honestly looking forward. In 2018, I'm only looking forward to one game on Xbox. Or two. State of Decay 2 and Ashen, which is like an indie or whatever, which is fine because, like I said, I'm cool with that. That's about it. I'm not looking forward to Forza Horizon 4. The fuck? Crackdown? I don't know. I don't think that's going to live up to the hype. And Sea of Thieves, I'm not interested in that game. It has no player progression. And the more I hear about it, the more I'm like, man, this game sounds like shit. Even the dudes who talk positive, like the positive comments, like, oh, this game is do it, create your own adventure in a big sandbox environment where you and your friends can just do crazy shit. Like last week, I was with my boy and he said he's gonna kill that shark, and he jumped in to kill the shark, but the shark killed him, and we all laughed. I'm like, what? Like, what is you talking about? You laughed because your friend died and got killed by a shark, and that's hilarious. Like, oh, it's cool because we could, put ourselves inside a cannon and we could shoot ourselves out the cannon. Okay, cool. That sounds fun the first 10 times. But after a while, it's like, what's the point? Like a lot of even some of the positive stuff, like, really? That's like fun to you? If you're not looking to Forza Horizon 4, that is a you problem. That is a me problem. I cannot stand racing games. So that is definitely a me problem. Me and me alone. I just, and keep in mind, like I bought my Xbox last year and the console's already dry. And keep in mind, I was playing the backlog exclusive. I got one more exclusive to play, which is Ori and the Blind Forest. You know, and then I'll sign up for Game Pass. So I'll try. I will try out whatever's there, but there's not a lot for me to look forward to. Look at the lineup that PlayStation has coming up. Like right now, I'm fiending to connect my console to proper internet so I could get MLB The Show 18 up in here. But look at the lineup: God of War, Detroit, Spider Man, Days Gone, The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, Lost Soul Aside, Hong Kong Massacre, and I don't even have VR yet. Oh, wait till I get that sucker. When I move in and I get my house and everything settled, it's gonna be on and popping because that's a whole slew of games that just provides a great experience. With Xbox, I gotta see what am I hoping for? I'm hoping for a battle plan. What will they eventually do? What is their vision? I don't know what's their vision. But yet somehow PS4 didn't deliver? Listen, I own the same PS4. I didn't trade it in. I didn't sell it. It's the same one I bought at launch. Well, not at launch, but when I bought it. Lionel, $10 super chat. Let's be real here. Phil Spencer took the easy way out and making another console. It takes way more time to make new IP. Seems like he just put a bandage on the problem. I think so too. I think he just built the console to try to kill a narrative, but I think it didn't work. I don't think it worked. I mean, it helped the fanboys, fight the 4K war, but yet most of us don't care. And then people are like, oh no, you only don't care because no, Microsoft won it. No, people don't care because we're not trying to drop $500 on a console whose first party sucks ass. We're not trying to do that. Now, for the people who did jump to the 4K, I consider you guys really big on tech and graphics, but the majority aren't. Especially when we get nothing out of it. We already spent 400, and some of you spent 500 on a more powerful console. Those consoles need to deliver on games. On the PlayStation front, that's exactly what it's doing. On the Xbox front, I don't know how people could damage control that. Like just on the mere fact, shout out to News Nukem. What's up, brother? I dropped 600 in Canada. I don't regret it. Woof. You know, just on the mere fact. Here's the thing. Each console is backed by its first party. And right now, one first party, you can have the confidence that if the game has some level of success, it doesn't have to be super breakout, but if it has some level of success, they will attempt a sequel. While the other one, they will not fight for sequels. Why? I don't know. No Rise sequel, no Sunset Overdrive sequel, no Quantum Break sequel. To be honest, you can't even guarantee a Sea of Thieves sequel. You can't guarantee that. We have to see how this game plays out over the long term, see how it does. So far, initial, it sounds good in terms of player engagement and player base, all that stuff. But we don't know. We don't know if Crackdown 3 is going to be a hit. We don't know State of Decay 2. I say that's a good one, State of Decay 2. So that's at least an effort to continue a franchise. I'm sure Cuphead 2 will be something. But how he about made that video didn't deliver? Nah. The bottom line is this. He's part of the crew that's just not gonna give no play for PlayStation. And that's fine. No one has to like PlayStation. And I'm not even gonna play the whole it's a you problem. All I'm saying is this. On this side of the house, no one's begging for big blockbuster games. We getting them. All right. No one is complaining that Sony doesn't give full creative control to its developers. They do. And no one on this side is being denied sequels or new IPs from our favorite developers. They're making the sequels or they're making new IPs. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you own the Pro or if you own the Slim or the Vanilla. We all benefit from those positives. Can the console always be better? Of course. Now, I know some people had a big thing was that the Pro is not powerful enough. I don't like this whole mid-gen refresh at all. I don't see the point, especially when the new consoles are going to do it right. So you're really paying $400 or $500 for something that's only 2-3 years? I don't know. That's just me though. Lionel, Porter, you can't guarantee rare safety. No, you can't. We don't know. Maybe this whole Game Pass changed the game for Microsoft. I don't know. I will say this. I'm indifferent. I know some people on Twitter, man, be like, oh, why can't you just give Microsoft props for Sea of Thieves, whatever? I'm going to say this. I will give Microsoft props if they straight up stop being around the bush. Like, I give props to Nintendo for Mario Cells, Horizon Cells. I said I ate crow over Switch because I didn't think it was going to sell that way. But you know what? I'm able to eat crow. I'm able to admit I was wrong because Nintendo gave numbers. They gave sales numbers. They didn't do no PR stunt. They weren't behind the bush. With Xbox, they're behind the bush. I already heard the phrase fastest selling, most successful IP of the gen. I heard that already with Quantum Break, and it wasn't a successful IP. 2 million players playing. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Puerto Rico saying, no, I'm not still eating crow. I'm just saying I'm admitting that, I was wrong. When I'm wrong, I admit it. I have no issues with that. Helps me learn. Helps me learn proper information that I can use. 2 million players. Okay, sounds good, right? At quick glance, it sounds good. But in a world where the game, anybody could play it on a 14-day trial, like what does 2 million players mean? Gamer said is, yeah, 2 million players doesn't mean 2 million sales. That is absolutely correct. So how did that narrative got created saying that CFD sold 2 million copies? How can you say that? The Ravenflow, Nintendo had the best rebuttal for Play Anywhere. What was their rebuttal? Are you talking about how their console is selling because of exclusives? Shout out $2 Ravenflow. That was his question. Ravenflow, $2 super chat. He said Nintendo had the best rebuttal for Play Anywhere. Did they say something about that? Oh yeah. Oh definitely. Yeah. Okay. Exclusive so comes it does. I mentioned this on my last podcast or the podcast before. Exclusive gives each console its identity. Because no one knows what platform you're talking about if you say, "Oh, I just bought The Witcher 3, Destiny 2, and Call of Duty." Okay, what for? What platform? What platform do you play on? Nobody knows. We all know what I call those games. Multiplayer. I call them community pussy. It's just something that everybody runs through. Everybody's gonna pick and choose why they play those selection of games. It could be because they want the best frame rates and the best graphics, so they play it on PC, or they play it because their friends on the console. Okay, it's nothing you can really take credit for. It's there. Everyone has access to it, and I feel sorry for the platforms that don't, like the Switch. It doesn't get most of those titles. So it's really not a big thing. I don't decide the console. Like I don't decide between PC, Xbox, PlayStation because of multiplats. I don't really care. As long as you get it, I'm cool with it. And I don't mind if there's always gonna be somebody else that plays a better version. Even if you own the One X, guess what? There's people out there playing a better version than yours on PC. Sure, they may have to pay for it, but it still doesn't change the fact that there are people playing a better version. And as the years go by, it will get better and better on the PC platform because they will get better hardware. But does it change the fact that you're enjoying it on your console? No. That's why I don't really care about multiplats like that. I don't really hold a console. As long as you get it, I'm good. You know, what really matters is what can I get on this console if I choose this one over that one. And of course, over time, if you're a multi-console owner, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But like I said, I don't buy both consoles day one at launch. I'm only gonna pick one, and I'm gonna maintain that one for a couple of years. Then I'll buy another console after price drops and whatever. So, which is a console that I definitely want to main on? It's obviously the one with the content I can't get anywhere else. You see what I'm saying? It was PR spin. Yeah, it's just I don't understand the spin. Like, just enough with the spin. Just say it. To tell you the truth, I think these spins hurt more than help because if you're not upfront, then people are gonna ask questions. Like when Sony announced Horizon Zero Dawn 7.6 million in his first year. Straightforward statement. There's nothing to wonder. It sold over 7 million. There you go. Now, what if Sony were to say, well, Horizon Zero Dawn had 7 million people playing it? Guarantee everyone ask, okay, got 7 million people playing it, but how well did it sell? Because you could game share, you could rent it. Like what's going on here? How did it do? And the reason why they ask these questions is, what is the future of the game? You see what I'm saying? That's what happens when you do PR stunts. People ask more questions than just accept the statement. Gamer M, $5 euro. He says, P Rock, CFD sold 22 copies here in the UK, and the game didn't register in the rest of the EU. I can give everyone in this chat a free code for SOT. There you go, man. My man's about to drop a free code. I don't know if you're gonna drop it. Y'all ready? Uh-oh. How about this? How about this? How about this? Let's play a little game. Right now I got 88 likes. On the 100th like, my man Gamer N drops a code. How about that? So that gives people time to write down, copy paste, turn on their PlayStations. You know what I'm saying? Lionel, $5 super chat. Oh, next month there's going to be a big drop off in CFTs using Game Pass. I have a feeling. Oh, 94? We're at 94 likes, 6 more likes, and maybe Gamer M might decide to drop a code. 97? 3 more? 99? One more? My man says nobody wants that trash. Nobody wants to keep. Don't drop garbage in the chat. People are gonna start. Oh, 102. There you go. So Gamer N, if you want to, you'll drop that code if you choose to. Appreciate you hooking up the community like that. That's pretty dope. We do. Everybody's like, it's funny. Yo, that would be hilarious. He drops the code and no one claims it. Yo, that shit would be insane. I would die. Yo, I wouldn't even know what to say. What else? What else we here? I think so. I agree with Lionel. Lionel, I agree with your point. I think a lot of people went with that 14-day free trial. And the other question is, are they going to stay and continue to pay $10 a month? And I think a lot of people are either going to wait until most of these exclusives are out, then pay the $10, or they'll just pay $10, then cancel it. Then when the next exclusive comes out, pay $10 to cancel it. Because that's what I'm going to do. Pay $10, play the game until I feel like I enjoyed it, and then cancel it. And I think Press Start Coffee, when he canceled his thing, it actually refunded his $10 because I guess he didn't play it enough. He only played it for a couple of days. He only used Game Pass for a couple of days. So I guess because he didn't use it to up to a certain point, he got a refund. So technically, he plays Sea of Thieves for free. Yeah, coffee as in KOFI though. Pronounced coffee. It's spelled KOFI. I think it does, right? Or am I wrong? My man Trickster said Press Start Coffee as the actual drink, you know? I don't know. Poor Angry Joe, he paid $60 for the game. Oh shit. Yo, my man. Yo, these dudes. Now they're calling them Press Start Coffee. Kofi. Is it Kofi? That's what it is? Or coffee. I thought it was all right, Kofi. Man, I butchered his name. Kofifi. But I mean, hey, I had to make this live video. I think I'm gonna jump on. Let me see. Is he sending the link out? Because if he sent the link out, I'm gonna jump on. Yeah, he sent the link out. All right, so I'm gonna jump on the multiplayer podcast because I know everybody wants that. So everybody head out to Z's channel. So right now I got over 100 likes, 180 people watching. For those of you who haven't liked the video, I hope you do. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell so you get more content. I hope you enjoyed this. And I'm out. The absolute best chat on YouTube, rocking out with over 180 people. That's amazing. And that's it. I'm out. I'm about to head over to Z's channel, and we're gonna do it big in this multi-plat. You know what I'm saying? Multiplayer podcast. Somebody gotta bring the balance. But anyway, to everybody who supported the channel, everybody who came out here, rocking out live. I appreciate it. This is your boy Porter Rock 77, and I'm gonna check you guys out. Peace.